What is up, ADHD crew? Let's talk emotions. I've always been a bit of a slave to my emotions, for as long as I can remember in fact. If you have ADHD, chances are you can relate to the term a worrier or a drama queen. Has anyone ever called you those words? Everything just seems to matter so much more than it should, right? Everything seems to be amplified and affect you on a very deep soul level. And you overanalyze the shit out of everything. The reason why you might react so badly to things is basically because of ADHD's tendency to inhibit the working memory. This is what's known as emotional dysregulation. People who are deemed to be neurotypical are much more in control because they're able to see things and map things out in their minds much more succinctly. But with ADHDers, it's more difficult to retrieve the information that's necessary to keep us in check. So say for instance, in the moment somebody has annoyed you, and in that moment you forget about the bigger picture of the situation. So your brain hyper-focuses on a single piece of information and it amplifies it in a really negative way, and you just hold on to that and it just seems so much worse than it really is. And it's pretty well known that people with ADHD typically get frustrated very easily. They overreact to things and find minor things more irritating than normal people, take things more personally, and hold on to things for longer periods of time. Another part of this is why it's called rejection-sensitive dysphoria, which is basically being hypersensitive to criticism, taking everything personally. And it's not just with people. I find that my emotions are quite powerful when it comes to things like movies, music, ideas, and it really captures my attention and ramps up my emotion. It's really hard to describe, but I'd say sometimes I feel like my life is though I'm living in a movie. Or if you're listening to music, it's as though you become the music and it intertwines within your soul. Okay, I'm getting a bit too philosophical here. A resulting issue from this emotional regulation can be that we tend to become very overwhelmed, we become very discouraged, frustrated, and in turn we tend to avoid things that cause those stresses. Subsequently, you'll give up on things too quickly, you'll avoid responsibility. I'm very guilty of doing that. You're also more likely to be a people pleaser, just simply because you feel like you want to avoid as much pain as possible, you want to avoid as much discomfort as possible. So we're especially susceptible to being manipulated emotionally, which is why certain things have a powerful effect on us, and we can form irrational cognitive biases that makes us believe things to be true when they're actually not. This is why I think I'm kind of a black and white thinker. Everything is just kind of all or nothing. Oftentimes I feel like I'm Mr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde just because I go from one extreme of emotions to the other. Sometimes I'll be extremely sad about something that's actually not really a big deal. Other times I'll find something really wrong and unjust and I'll be like, but here's a method that you can apply that I learned in cognitive behavioral therapy. It's called the stop and recognize method. So basically, when you feel an emotion rising up within you, you recognize it as an alarm bell. It's important to remember that you have to stop and recognize it happening. So when you do that, recognize it and analyze. It's important to verbalize what you're feeling in your head and describe it. And the reason for that is that it acts like a distraction. So instead of reacting to something, you're stopping and you're thinking to yourself, what am I thinking right now? What am I feeling? So why am I feeling that? I'm feeling this because of that. He said this, she did that. When you really get descriptive and analyze it, you'll have found that you haven't done anything about it. You just stood there in silence, staring, thinking about it. And guess what? It works because it stops you from taking any action. I just realized that most of the time it's not worth reacting to something in an emotional manner because all it ever does is bite you in the arse. Stop, recognize, analyze, and walk away. Because it can be very empowering to just walk away from someone who's annoying you, and most of the time these assholes just want to get a reaction out of you. But just remember, you don't have to bottle your emotions up. It's really important that you go and speak to somebody, or a close friend, a parent, somebody that you love that's close to you, and just tell them exactly what you're feeling. This goes for things like an argument, if you're having an argument with your partner or a friend. Describe what you're feeling out loud. You made me feel like this, so I want to react in this way. At the end of the day, it's just a feeling. It doesn't last, it's fleeting. So just ask yourself, is this emotion serving me positively? 99% of the time, it's a big no. You don't owe it any attention. It's just like a pesky dog humping your leg. So basically, it's just a big waste of time. Try to aim to be in control, and you're going to feel more confident in your capability of controlling yourself. Easier said than done, but if you practice it every day, put it on your to-do list, be more conscientious, watch my reactions, you're going to get a bit better every time. You don't want to be one of these snowflakes now, do you? Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and smash the subscribe button for me, please. Thank you very much. And thank you again. I'll see you next time. Bye.